welcome to this episode of Ruff Talk VR. It's Monday, so you know what that means.
Dun, dun, dun.
Roundup of last week's news, and there was plenty. I mean, more news from Demeo. We talked about Demeo last week with Resolution Games teasing some new updates.
Boy, jumping right into it. I had a good week. Thank you.
Well,
how are you?
I'm good. Good. How about you?
I'm good.
I got a new Hawaiian shirt, bandana. I'm ready to go, man.
Teddy bears.
Yeah, I'm ready to go. I wasn't going to go fully into it. I was just going to kind of sum up some of what we have in
so
store.
Many jokes.
What, with my teddy bear or my bandana?
Just the ensemble.
Wait till I get sunglasses. That's the next. I'll even get do you remember as kids you used to have
dude, don't do the douchebag
sunglasses. The giant one?
The giant ones. All right, that's cool.
What I was talking about.
Right, I thought you were talking like the aviators gonna look like Johnny douchebag
as
wearing
kids,
glasses inside.
You know how they had those dollar store giant sunglasses?
They still sell them.
That's the next one. But nonetheless, so yeah, there's a bunch of news with Demeo, with Unity, outrage there, updates Horizon World. So we got a whole bunch to talk about today, but to make you feel good, how are you doing today?
I'm lovely, thank you.
You had a good week?
I had an awesome week.
The Big E's going on?
Yeah, it's jamming.
If anybody's at the Big E, go check out
jamming, man.
If anybody's in the Northeast New England region or anything like that, and you've heard of the Big E and you're swinging by, be sure to check out Simply Delicious in the Massachusetts building. You got some affiliation with that?
I do. My fiance's company. So
yeah, so go check it out. Go support.
Munch down some dips. Nom, nom, nom.
You can get some dips, and I guess that indirectly supports Ruff Talk VR if it supports you. I mean, if it supports her, that supports you, right? I mean,
yeah,
does
not hurt.
It's a very indirect trickle down.
It definitely is supporting local small business.
Yes, so the Big
she definitely is.
So the Big E is going on right now. So it's actually a crazy couple weeks from you. It's we're getting in our playtime still, but you can feel it. You're busy.
My home responsibilities shift when it's a 17-day fair, so it's like everything. She doesn't get home till I'm freaking 10 o'clock. Mm-hmm. So I got to make sure food's ready, and I do a lot of cleaning.
Yeah, and then you got a garlic festival right after this, so it's a crazy couple weeks. But
garlic festival's bomb.
But we're still making do, and we haven't missed a week yet. So even with all this, we're not missing a week.
We're not starting now.
No, there's too much going on. Like I said, Demeo news, and I want to start with Unity. I mean, this was probably the big fire of the week, right? Unity rolled out some terms and condition changes coming.
Went over really well.
Yes, at the start, it's going to roll out at the start of 2024. It's effective for past versions of Unity. It doesn't take place for past sales or anything, but it doesn't matter if you made your game on old versions of Unity. These new terms are still going to apply. And they set out some once you pass a certain amount of downloads and revenue, after that, you're going to have to pay as a developer per install. And Unity, if people don't know, Unity is probably the most popular game engine in the world. There's Unity and Unreal, and then there's other ones.
I put Unreal, but I think more people probably are able to use Unity.
Correct. And then there's other ones like Godot and others as well. It's not just those two, but if you looked at the statistical percentage of games, it's definitely dominated by Unity and Unreal. And each one has a different price model, usually based upon if you need in Unity, if you need certain things, you do have to pay a yearly cost. It's like $2,000 a year per seat, which is kind of like per employee, per developer working on it. But most of the revenue cut or cost come in when you hit revenue thresholds. So it's pretty affordable, and it's desired by indie developers because it's easy to use right out the box. You can use it as a one-man team, so you can see the benefit of something like Unity. And they suddenly rolled out these changes that every install, once you hit a certain amount of revenue, you're going to have to pay 20 cents per install. And they originally said on the first day that it doesn't matter if it's the first time somebody's downloaded it, the 10th time, they have no way to differentiate, and you're going to have to pay every install. And then the next day they went, whoa. It only counts the first install, the first time somebody buys it and downloads it.
Although that was a complete
backtrack
change of, because they put it in writing that
They don't have the technology.
That it was, you will pay. And then I first went to the like, wow, you could really cripple a studio
Just by spamming downloads.
Get 100 of your friends to just delete and reinstall, delete, reinstall, do it all day long.
You think of your Quest headset, how often are you uninstalling games and reinstalling it?
No, it was, I don't know where anybody thought that would ever go over well. Even though the threshold, one could say, hey, 200,000 or whatever, you're probably making a little bit of money, but 20 cents per WAP.
Okay, every 5 people that download your game is now $1 more.
Yeah,
that
cuts into somewhere.
You can
becoming an employee.
Yep. You can see very much how this could scale up fast.
But they did backtrack on the
I don't believe
uninstall and
I don't believe it though, because the first day they said that they don't have the
ability to,
because they don't have that end user data.
They weren't forthcoming. So I mean, you had said something though to me in direct message that made the most sense though.
Oh, well, that maybe they didn't necessarily think that they could settle on getting 20 cents per install. But if they rolled out with this and said, all right, it's going to be 5 cents per install with the revenue threshold, people still would have freaked out.
So they dumped at 20. And
so they start with 20, and then they can go down to 5, which is where they really wanted to be. But if they rolled out with 5, they wouldn't have been able to.
Thanking them. You'd be like, oh, thank you.
You know, that's more tolerable, you know?
Yeah. So, but the whole fact that was even a consideration or someone
still
thought
is.
in there. No, I'm saying charging for each install, even if it's already been installed once.
Mm-hmm. Well,
because nothing happens without meetings, and somebody pitched it, and they were like, "That's fucking great."
But they're saying that it won't, but they have no transparency of how it won't. If the day before they were saying they can't, and now they're saying, "Whoa, we can," and people go, "Well, how?" And they go, "We can't tell you. That's proprietary." And then people are like, "Well, what about pirated copies? If somebody downloads my game illegally, does it count?" And they were like, "We have really good anti-piracy features," but it's like, well, obviously people are still downloading it and playing it, so clearly the anti-piracy doesn't work. So what the fuck happens there? And they're like, we trust our system, it's proprietary. Can't tell you the.
You know what? It potentially is gonna. Well, we're gonna see graphical improvements as people are jumping
to Unreal
real quick, but. It also now just opens up the door for other companies to go, you know what? We can do this. We can offer some of the same services, maybe even make the programming even easier and come out of and knock them down a notch. I mean, there's consequence for shit decisions, and this one's definitely not. And I get the needing to charge something, but,
they do charge something already.
Well, I'm saying, maybe because financially they're not exactly.
Yes, they lose money.
Exactly. So if this is what they need to recoup, but
don't pass it on the developers retroactively.
No, you're really screwing the little guy in this one.
Yeah, and I mean, it probably was obvious, but we didn't directly say it. The developer outcry when this news hit right away.
But yeah, it's their pocket
exploded,
dude. And some of them are like. They don't have traditional budgets like big studios.
No.
Their line item is probably some Post-it notes and some reminders on the fridge of where the money's going. There's no freaking money.
There's studios threatening legal action, like SideQuest and other big studios too. Not just SideQuest. They're like, hey, if this goes through, this ain't going to
come down to how it's monitored. Mm-hmm. Because if they can't legitimately prove a system in place that's not going to allow for somebody to just ambush a studio, and don't even look at it from like another studio. You just get a bunch of passionate players who are like, screw that game, we're taking them down. I mean, you're really going to strip. I mean, dude, think of some of the size of communities if they all deleted and uninstalled at the same. So I just, they're going to have to prove to somebody, which might come out in a court of law, this is the actual software we're using that's going to be able to accurately within 100%. And to say you have decent piracy controls,
no, you don't.
Everybody, Steam does a great job. I won't lie.
Mm-hmm.
But
the fact is, people still pirate games.
Yeah.
So it's clearly not working.
Correct.
So, and that will, and so
whatever percentage that might be, doesn't matter.
The fact that you as a developer have to pay.
For a pirated game.
It's not just that somebody's not buying your
Insulting twice.
Now I have to pay 20 cents just
for you to have it.
Oh my goodness. So
illegally.
Unfortunately, a lot of people are talking like trust is broken. So even if they backtrack completely, I think a lot of developers are still going to
They say
end up
that,
switching.
but the reality is Unity's a lot easier to learn than Unreal. So if you've been using Unity for years and years, and now all of a sudden you're like, well, I'm upset, I'm going to go to Unreal, then you would have already been doing that.
Yeah, I've been doing Unity tutorials. What's good though is, I mean, I'm just learning.
What are you going to do?
I mean,
Still supporting?
I don't pay them a dime. I just learn. I'm learning scripting. That's useful because you look at engines like Godot. That's an upcoming one, and they allow you to script in multiple different programming languages, including C#, which I'm learning. So it carries over.
Okay.
Figure the ability to learn how to script. It's like, all right. And just basic understanding of like how to navigate in a real-time engine like Unity. There's probably some carryover, I imagine. It's less like, dude, the first time I ever opened up Unity, I was like, it's like opening up Photoshop or like Premiere Pro. And when you don't know it yet, you open it and you're like, I don't even know where to start.
Looking for familiar shit to click on.
Yeah. So
Things that make the most sense.
Unity, I'll give them credit for like their tutorials and stuff. And hey, they were overall pretty loved engine. There's a reason why that they were so used prior to this decision. So
I mean, they shouldn't have to lose money, but at the same time,
there's a better way to figure it out.
Got to figure something out.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't know what the answer really is, but that was definitely not the best answer to come out of the gate with.
No, and I think a big issue is just the lack of transparency of anything of, well, how do you filter out if it's a second install or a third install? What happens if the person now has a new computer? Now what?
It's going to be up to them to have to prove. And I mean, it might actually come out more in a legal sense than a we want to tell you sense.
Or it never even hits the legal point and things kind of change before then. And I don't think it's probably in Unity's best interest to carry forward with it. As of now, they are, but let's see.
Maybe they don't care.
Maybe they don't give. Maybe they're like, it's either this or go out of business. So bang, 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 going out.
That's kind of the feeling I got. Mm-hmm. But I don't.
You'd hope it would get like open sourced, and if they went out of business and that engine wouldn't just die, right? There has to be some point where it forked, where somebody has some version that could carry on.
Yeah, it's been around too long.
That's what I'm saying. Even if it's several versions ago,
it'll be a hacked version, but it won't matter because they'll be out of business. No, it's weird. It's worth monitoring, but right now it's just all backpedaling.
Yeah, we'll see how it plays out, but definitely the developer response was spicy, to say the least.
Even a community response.
Yeah,
they're not even using it.
No, well, I mean, we'll think of it. I use the example for re-downloading headsets or downloading games on the headsets because really there's not that much space, and so like I couldn't help but think like it's not that it disproportionately hits VR developers; it hits everybody hard, but particularly with mobile headset storage space, like, yeah, I mean, you might download your favorite game 10 times over the lifetime of owning the headset, if not more.
Same thing with flat screen. There's some cable companies that people are limited
on download space. Yeah, I've seen these complaints popping up.
Yeah, man, you fucking download 2 games, you're screwed. You use your monthly now. I couldn't believe that. I'm like, that does not freaking work for.
I've seen some ISPs have gaming. A terabyte of download. And like
dude, any shit nowadays.
That's crazy.
Especially when most of your games are being played on a cloud anyways.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Tough.
That's scary.
Everything's streaming and then that uses the data.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Shystery.
Yep, absolutely.
I don't like shyster moves.
So yeah, I couldn't help but feel like, yeah, this really hurts VR developers along with other devs. But yeah, I feel the sympathy for the VR scene due to storage space on headsets. You know, we'll see how it plays out. But that was the unfortunate news, but we haven't exactly seen the end of that chapter yet. I think that there's plenty more to come on both sides of developer response and how Unity responds, and just the next couple months leading into when this officially goes in, January 1st, is going to be very, very interesting to say the least. But on much more positive news, one of our favorite games, Demeo.
Demeo.
The first ever episode of Ruff Talk VR. Terrible audio quality. Terrible podcast skills. Anybody that listens to that, I still see people download it, and I'm like, I hope that they went back and listened to that, and that wasn't them.
I mean, if we really cared, we would have just deleted it.
Oh no, I don't care like that. No. It's just funny to think back and every once in a while
I don't listen to it.
Oh, I'll listen to it at least once a year,
Ugh.
once every 6 months. It's funny. It's not only the audio quality; it's the podcasting skills. So I always hope that's not. I always hope it's somebody going back in our library and not somebody starting right there. But Demeo, great game, constantly adding updates. Even last week, we went pretty in depth of some stuff that they were rolling out, and they had a spin-off game in the works for quite a while now called Demeo Battles, which, believe it or not, is going to be PvP Demeo. You're going to go against other players. And a couple months ago, they announced it was going to be its own standalone game, which I actually think is for the best of the game. I imagine that there's like core engine changes you have to make in order for the PvP to really be balanced. Now, they have 8 other maps in Demeo currently. How do you balance that all? That's a lot to work out. So they announced it's going to be its own game, and now it has an official release date of November 9th, and you can pre-order it now for 10% off of the base price of $20. So I'm excited for Demeo Battles.
Fuck yeah.
Resolution Games, have they made a bad game yet?
No, and they're taking a little heat from a portion of the community.
Oh, because they wanted it to be part of Demeo?
Yeah.
But look how much content Demeo's gotten.
That's where the argument falls flat with me. It'd be different if it was like Demeo was 2 maps and now they're coming out with this other,
There's so much content got added for free.
Let Demeo be itself and bring this to the table as something else, and then both can expand and not step on each other's space.
They never did any paid DLC. Any content that got added to Demeo was free. Always.
And from where it was on day one to today, is
God,
get the hell out of here. I mean, I get it, but I never saw them promise this is a free.
No,
a free release on anything. So
they just said that they were working on it, and I think it's probably
and it's a different play style. So
yes. I mean, how do you do this all without messing with the other maps? And
so I thought of a great game.
What's that?
And I'll say it because I won't even be hurt if someone takes it and steals it.
What's that?
So, and when you said Demeo, it always reminds me of that because it's the closest we have to like a D&D type style game. I'll say just because it's got dungeon. I don't mean in any other aspect. So I'm not trying to walk on D&D fans. But so you come out with like a dungeon type game and one person in the group, because of course it's multiplayer, gets to be the dungeon master. And that person will choose from a huge array, not like 5 or 6, but like a huge array of different obstacles and or puzzles and or something that the people in the group will have to solve or deal with or combat with. So you would actually have a true in-person dungeon master to select each room for the players to play.
They kind of design it. Now here's a question I have, and maybe we can take this actually as a different direction too, just by asking questions. That's why it's fun to talk about these things.
Yeah.
Would you imagine that the dungeon master, do they want the players to succeed?
No.
Or they want to beat them? Okay.
You want them to not
fail.
Be able to
Okay.
fail. Yeah, so you're the guy.
You could have a lot of fun with this where like you have in your loadout of like you have like almost a deck of cards of like goblins or puzzles or something you could play, and you have like a mana or some sort of currency, and it's like, all right, they're walking in the room. I have 30 mana. Let me play this goblin that costs 5 while they're fighting it. All right, now let me place this puzzle over here have to.
I was thinking each level would be limited, so otherwise you just throw like 3 dragons in it and you're all dead.
That's why you'd have like
for the dungeon master, his or her ability to put strategic items in place, whether it be traps, it could be a puzzle that has to be unlocked to open up the next dungeon. It's just whatever level but yeah, it wouldn't be like you have a free for all. And then as the levels progress, so doesn't the dungeon's master's ability to add tougher environments, maybe harder traps.
So here's how you do it. It's a 4-person game. 3 players are...
I was thinking more like 4, just because you don't really see it.
4-person game?
Yeah.
That's what I said.
4-person in a group, 1 person.
So 5-person total?
Yes.
Okay.
5 total.
I could see that. You could even make it so it could be optional of 2 players and 1 dungeon master, up to 4 like in-game players and 1 dungeon master. That way somebody doesn't have to have 5.
Yeah.
And then Yeah, it's competitive.
And you could even have it so like a if you go into dungeon master mode, you could preset an entire dungeon out, including like, I want this room as a start. I want this room similar to what Barbaria does. How you can
I was already thinking of that as an example, as a mental.
You preset everything in there, and then you can kick back and watch people go through the dungeon as you throw other little environmental obstacles at them or something.
So you find a room. Now,
maybe the dungeon master, you are the dragon at the very end, and you play as that dragon and have to take on.
there's a lot of ways. That's a fun idea. Right. I like it. But Demeo Battles rolling out November.
Yeah. Sorry, just had to get my ideas out there in case someone wants to grab that. And just give us a little shout out in the credits. We're happy. Stole this from. I'm cool with it.
Yeah. So this will be a day one for me.
Definitely
2v2, baby. Let's
I'm a little
go.
Intimidated by the. We'll see what happens.
We're gonna get blown out of the water. I'm not.
Don't know that.
Actually, sometimes we surprise ourselves.
I'm not saying I'm not devaluing our abilities.
I think of a game like
we've done really good in Demeo at times where we shouldn't have.
Yeah, and we're just really good co-op at this point. That's why I like Glass Breakers. Every time we talk about it, it's a great game. I just wish it was co-op. I think that top-down board games or top-down strategy cooperatively, like Gods of Gravity. Oh man, it's just so much fun in VR. I can't explain it. I wish we saw more of it, and I think Demeo Battles is going to be a great example that it works. So I'm so excited to see this roll out.
Yeah, I want to see what they're going to bring to the...
Theoretically, based off of all rumors, Quest 3 will be out by then, right? So
I don't know if it'll... Well,
November 9th? I mean...
I would hope so.
I mean, it's supposed to be out October 10th by rumors.
Pre-orders October 10th, shipping end of the month, so probably...
No, the rumors currently is releasing October 10th.
I don't know about that.
I could see that. I think that pre-order is going to start on Connect September 27th.
Let's hope so.
That's my guess. Releasing.
I'm
walk into the store October 10th and walk out with one on my fucking head.
We were talking on Discord about camping out for it.
Yeah, hell yeah. I was talking about that even last week.
Yep.
I think we brought it up on the podcast. Let's tailgate it.
Start a line in a list for a line in list that doesn't exist.
If you got a Best Buy near you and you won't get stabbed doing it, let's tailgate. Let's do it. Let's start the trend. People will be like, who tailgates? Who overnight release like hangs out for anything? It's gonna be like the VR community
That's
for the Quest 3.
The only time you see that shit now is new iPhone releases. That's pretty much the big one. Other than that,
bring some good media attention to the Quest 3. People will be like, what? It's like, even if like 10 people did it.
I don't know if it's positive attention, if it's just you and like 4 people,
if it becomes a train.
The world is
trend,
flat too.
A trend, not a train, a trend.
No, I mean, if they made a bigger, well, who knows?
I'm just saying, I'm planting the seeds. Planting the seeds. If anybody wants to roll with it.
They started a promotion.
Don't even need to give me credit. Just
first in line at every store gets because then people would get stabbed and murdered.
That's what I'm saying. Let's just do it.
Wait till overnight. 9:59. Just go postal.
Best Buy has no idea what's in store for them. Let's do it, VR community. Overnight tailgating.
Well, pre-order is the way to go. So you can just. And that was the other joke I made. Is like you're sleeping out and standing in line for something you pre-ordered, and all you have to do is show up anytime you wanted, and it's already there. You pre-ordered it.
Well, I said it last week too. I'll say it again. My hope is that they would be like, kid, just go home. Here you go. And I'm like, yeah, I got 7 hours early.
Well, get you out of here. Tired of you beating on the windows.
So just planting the seeds. If anybody's interested, Best Buy. They don't even know what's in store for them.
Dude, the smart person would be applying to work at Best Buy in like the stock room right now.
Thief sim it out.
I'm not saying steal it. I'm just saying you're already on the inside.
Yeah,
just wait for release. You're guaranteed it.
Make sure you take the shift that ends like right when it comes out. So nonetheless,
no, you want the overnight stocking crew there,
So I don't know if this is a sign that Meta was just trying to clear out some stock or whatnot, but they offered at a recent Roblox developers conference, they offered all the developers at the conference as
this was bomb, dude.
As just people there, everybody there got a free Quest Pro. And you can say like, oh, they're trying to clear out stock. Who cares? That's freaking dope. Send a free one my way. I'll be happy.
Dude, send me 50. I'm never gonna bitch.
If it's clearing out stock, if not, who cares? That's awesome.
The only people complaining are people who didn't get one.
Exactly. And like that, dude, these Roblox developers, let's be real. It's in beta. It's got a lot of work to do.
That's a freaking
gangster move.
Crazy amount of money.
Well, the fact that all these
how is it that they can give them away to everybody and I can't get my paws on? Jeez Louise.
It's good for the Roblox community because now all these developers can have a Quest Pro to test on, to work on, to get used to understand the VR ecosystem, what they like as a user. It's
Yeah, that's weird. We were there. Why didn't... Something must be wrong. I'm going to send an email.
No, you know what's funny? When they posted it, they were like, hey, just to let you know, we're not mailing anyone. If you don't pick it up by this time, you've missed it.
Well, you'd think they were... Yeah, they were smart enough to know it was going to happen. Be getting emails from everybody. Yeah. I was there. I didn't get one.
It's not the first time somebody from Boston has attended these conferences.
Here's my Photoshop pass that I had.
We've seen these tricks before.
Right.
No, but that was a gangster move. Had to give a shout out to it. That was really cool. And I think for the Roblox community, it's going to really benefit them to start to have these developers be able to work hands-on in VR. That's huge. And then another...
I think the Quest 3 would be more suitable.
Yeah, but it's not out yet. So might have been just tiny.
Not out for common folk, but for developers, it sure is.
You hope so, right?
I know so.
You hope so.
No, they even say it.
So, other big news, version 57 in the PTC of it, the public test channel, it had said that legs were coming, and that's unclear in the notes if it's there. I have version 57. I haven't noticed if I have legs in my home environment like there was in the public.
Somebody posted today, I saw that they didn't have legs.
Yeah, like there was in the public test.
Yeah.
But there's other updates like expanded avatar customization, some interface changes. It's removing the Guardian from some mixed reality spaces or mixed reality games. So that's interesting. I can totally get how in a mixed reality game, having your Guardian line pop up is redundant.
It sucks.
It's like, well, what the hell?
It really sucks.
Yeah. So I mean, that's a well-needed feature, but it doesn't sound like it's for every mixed reality app. It's going to be like kind of curated which apps they are. They probably want to make sure that mixed reality game can handle having the Guardian fully off before they go.
Yeah, depending on the game, some of them you're going to need it regardless.
Yeah, exactly.
You're not going to be able to put the trust in
the user
in what you see. Yeah, that they're paying attention to their environment.
100%. So version 57 rolled out. I already have it. Like I said, no legs like the public test channel, but a plethora of other features. But in other big news, Horizon Worlds now officially has legs.
They do.
And we went and checked it out. Would you believe this? We went into Horizon Worlds.
In this past week, I've gone in a bunch of times.
Way more than we ever did to check out legs. And, that we talked last week about a new game that was made in a world in Horizon Worlds by Meta called Citadel, or a Meta affiliated studio, owned studio, whatever.
Somebody did it. It's got their name on it.
Yes, they published it. It's called Citadel. So between having legs and, I was pretty curious about Citadel. It's like a puzzle roguelite type game. We went and checked it out. Yeah, no, we actually had a good time. We played both the casual mode and the veteran mode. Yep. Beat them both. Actually, no, we didn't beat the veteran mode.
We didn't beat veteran. We came close, though.
Because veteran has the limited amount of lives.
Yep.
That freaking spider, dude, we were dying laughing in the veteran mode with it. That
he was chasing you all around.
Like nobody's business. I did not have that problem in the casual mode. But actually a really good and fun experience.
They did it well.
And it was smooth with the legs. We had checked out Horizon Worlds. Geez, I don't know. Maybe when it first became available to us.
I still have 3 of the worlds that I had started making, and it through all this, it still saved them.
Yeah, I remember you even saying back then, like, all right, I can see the potential with the building tools.
Yeah, just doing it in app did not work as well as I guess if you did it off of
a computer or something.
Computer, yeah. And I was like, well, this kind of defeats my purpose, but I still was able to finagle some.
And that was
stuff.
way back then. And now you go in and the graphical improvements are huge. And I think that getting these like fun, meta-made apps, like, they rolled out the Battle Royale one the other week. They just came out with a fishing one that you said you checked out too.
I did.
You said you definitely need a buddy in that one, right?
Yeah, because and even with Citadel,
Oh, I wouldn't do that solo.
Well, and the same thing for fishing. It's like you're going to run into squeakers. It seems like this has become or will become the new rec room.
Well, I think
as far as for the voices go.
Well, when we first got our Quest 2, we did check out some rec room free games because why not? You didn't want to spend $100 buying every game that looked fun, which was very tempting when we first got the headset. So we checked out the free content and we checked out Rec Room, and we weren't exactly overly impressed. There was one game, it was like Crimson something. That one wasn't the worst. Where one's the Archer, it
was the best of the worst.
Exactly. But it didn't like blow us away. But now comparing that to what's available in a world like Citadel, it's like, man, people who are going to get a Quest 3, that's their first VR experience. They're going to do the same thing as us, buy a couple games, then with their buddies look for the free stuff. It's definitely a step up in quality from what we had in that same moment. It's quite a big step up, actually.
Yeah, I mean, it's fun. I don't think it's the best it can be. It's not the worst it can be.
It hits a wall.
It's all right. You know, I'm liking where it's going versus
where it's at
questionable.
Now.
Like, is it going to be around in a year? Mm-hmm. To where now you're starting to see I was thinking of that the other night when we were playing. I'm like, all right, so it took a year to start the engine churning a little, but it's showing the potential. And as the technology gets better, then I would expect these little side games to get better to the point where, this could have been on the store, but it's not. So it could just be a pipeline for...
Yeah, I have the same mentality of, all right, is it the greatest game ever? No, but it's fun.
Mm-hmm. And it's not bad. The graphics aren't terrible.
You instantly makes you think, well, how about in 6 months? How about in a year?
Mm-hmm.
How about in a year and a half? You're like, all right, I agree. It went from where is this going to we're on the right path. I actually think this is going to be really good. I mean, we've been longtime supporters of meta avatars too. I've always loved them being integrated into games. So the fact that the legs are coming, they're in. I've seen them.
Yeah.
They're
seen
good.
Them with my own eyes.
I've seen them on your guy. I've seen them on my guy.
Kind of move as, they're trying to predict.
And they squat. If you sit down, they squat with you. Like if you bend your knees.
The infatuation with legs.
Well, it's only because it's such a big hurdle. It's a lot of games don't do them good. Some do them great.
No. I mean, it's going to be more critical to me when full body tracking is, more of a thing with the Quest line. So I'm not really too upset about it, but like I said, I think we said last week, I'm fine with what I look at has legs, but if I look down and don't see my own, I'm not like, oh, my shoes.
You're not crying.
Yeah, no, not at all. Because most games that I have legs in, I don't have freaking time to be staring at the legs. It's like, why am I looking at the ground? I'm probably going to get eaten, shot at, drown, something.
I can't help but agree. But what's smart about these type of meta-made app or worlds, I'll say too, is what happened to us last night when we were playing. We check out Citadel, right? We're playing, we do the veteran mode, and then you pull up the world menu, and you're like, oh, this one looks kind of cool. And the next thing you know, we're popping into soap. What's it called? Soapbox? Soap? The name of the comedy club.
Oh.
Soapstone.
I can't remember.
I wanted to give them a shout out.
Yeah, I can't remember the exact name of it.
Oh,
it's messed up because when I said the comedy club last night, you said it fine, even who puts it out.
I know the world maker's name because that sticks out to me. It's the unemployed alcoholic.
Yeah,
that's his username. It makes me laugh every time.
And it's right in your home world. I mean, you can find it. It's not that hard to find. But that's a cool feature.
But case in point, next thing you know, we're in there. Mm-hmm. We're walking around. So
and I did the fishing, and I want to try some of the others because, of course, they give you achievements and shit for every app. So
this could use the word pipeline before, so I'll steal it. This could be a pipeline into getting users into other Horizon worlds, user-made worlds beyond the official ones, But you need the good official ones to get there.
Yeah. So it's going to be real interesting when, like, a well-known, reputable studio's like, let's make a little something for Horizon Worlds. Put our name on it.
Synth Riders developers, they're working on it.
And what about like Walkabout? Walkabout could do just a Horizon World course.
Totally.
Right?
I could totally see that.
Those are two where it would make the most sense.
And there's no I'm not saying the Synth Riders is going to Horizon Worlds. I'm saying the developers, Kluge, I always pronounce their name wrong. Kluge. They're working. Yeah, they're Kluge.
No, I think we said that before.
And somebody commented the correct pronunciation too. Playing. That person who commented the correct pronunciation's ripping their hair out going, I commented
I friggin' told you, man.
I told you.
Now you're just being...
I
just like Kluge.
Yeah.
Like if it was me, I'd be like, no, it's not Cluj. It's Kluge.
Kluge. But nonetheless, yeah, they're working on stuff for Horizon World. So that'll be cool when that rolls out. That's like a very reputable studio, very polished.
It's a good way to get like a little taste of a demo out without having to put it out as a demo. Just work in conjunction with Horizon Worlds and give people a little teaser of what's coming.
Do prototypes in Horizon Worlds. But nonetheless, so one last piece of news before we go to ad break. But again, huge props to Horizon Worlds for rolling out the legs. But it came out that, quote unquote, nearly all, end quote, Apple iPad and iPhone flat apps will be available on the Vision Pro, meaning you can just pull up all the available library of existing flat screen apps and start to use them in VR. Which the only reason I want to bring this up, I mean, that was kind of a no-brainer. They definitely teased that during the showcase that they did of it. But I actually think that that's a little bit of a missed market on the Quest, like just being able to use native flat apps on your Quest 2, like other Android apps. Just pull up Discord. I mean, you can, but you have to sideload it.
I think it cheeses up the world, to be honest with you.
I can see
I don't want to cheese up the VR space. If Apple wants to put, and let's be honest, there's some really shitty freaking apps on the App Store. So you're saying I don't want to see shitty apps available? I like their curating process.
Correct. You should still curate it. I'm not saying just upload the whole Google Play Store, but like you should have a Discord app available, even if you should have a Reddit app. I mean, I would love to have an ESPN Plus app. It doesn't matter that it's not immersive VR. I don't mind watching it as a flat screen in my headset just to do other stuff too. I think it's a little bit of a missed market not having. And I agree, it should be curated too. Don't open up.
Yeah, I mean,
thank you for mentioning that because I don't want to give anybody the wrong impression. I don't want to.
I'm on the fence about that.
I don't want the Google Play Store on.
If ESPN made a VR specific experience, I'd want it.
Absolutely, but I don't know if
watching TV on my headset. I mean, they give you the YouTube and Netflix
but I can't go to ESPN Plus.
No.
And I don't see why I can't open up Discord natively. You can, you just have to sideload it. So clearly it works. People do it. There's a user base that wants to do it. Why can't we? So I think it's a little bit of a missed market. I've been joking the whole time since the announcement of the Vision Pro. Without a doubt, Candy Crush Saga is going to be the #1 app on the Vision Pro.
I hope not.
This is without a doubt.
And that's not knocking them. I want to.
It's Candy Crush Saga.
I want to know that people didn't spend $4,000 to use
If you have any expectation of anything other than
Candy Crush,
that's going to be the #1 app by and large. It's not even going to be a close #2. Maybe Temple Run. Candy Crush Saga is going to dominate the Vision Pro store. Promise you.
Well,
#1.
I'm glad that Apple is not using the word VR then. I mean, I'll just say it. It's like I'm glad they're in their own lane and doing their own thing because it has the potential to really cheese up the
spatial store.
Yeah, with just
but nonetheless,
garbage.
So just had to give a shout out there. But hey, we're very allowed. I mean, why can't we disagree? You don't think that the flat screen app should be on the headset? It kind of sounds like
if it's ported for it and it's going to work good, then yeah, that's great.
I think there's some native apps I should just be able to open, like Discord, like Reddit,
Possibly.
X. I almost said Twitter. It's a hard adjustment. Open up Threads. Should be able to open up Threads flat screen. Who cares that it's flat screen? It's not an immersive experience. It's an app. I just want to post something real quick. Just a thought.
I think I'll be happier with picture-in-picture.
Yeah. But then picture-in-picture, I would want just the ability to open up an ESPN app even more. I definitely don't need it immersive then. Then I really just need a screen.
Well, you know what? If I were Meta, I would not do the ESPN route unless they were paying some fat fucking dollars because ESPN is not free. ESPN Plus. I just got
neither is Netflix.
But Netflix, I get a shit ton of really good stuff. ESPN is kind of scammy because you have to have it to watch fucking
UFC.
pay-per-views. So like they gig you almost $100 a year just for the right to spend almost $100 a month to watch a pay-per-view.
Well, that's if you're buying the pay-per-views. At least there's a lot of
scammy.
A lot of
they just rebuild.
nights.
I forgot. I'm like, motherfucker. motherfucker.
It's all right. There's a lot of free entertainment. Not free because you're paying for it. There's a lot of...
So I'd hope that if
fight
Meta
nights.
invites them, that they take them to the fucking cleaners with, okay, yeah, we'll let your app on there for $100 million because we know the squeeze you've...
$100 million.
Dude, yeah, fuck them. Or you know what? I mean, the reality is ESPN should be very careful with this because the reality is Zuck is a huge MMA fan. And what's to stop him from throwing around his money down the road and be like, we'll put it on Zuck TV.
Well, they are showing MMA fights
Correct.
in Horizon Worlds and separately in X Stadium.
So
But
when's the contract with ESPN?
I'm sorry that ESPN billed you $100, but on a different note, I just would like to see the ability for flat screen apps. Not only ESPN, Discord, Reddit, Instagram, Threads, whatever the flat screen app that you want to open.
You want to basically just a web browser.
That's not a web browser.
No, but everything you're opening, you could just do through like a phone or web browser.
And that's not at all that it would be my primary use of my headset. Still to play games, but maybe I'm in my headset and I just want to open up that app for 1 second to do one thing, look something up. Or
I did something real shady and I want to know if I'm the asshole.
Yeah, who knows, but whatever. I think that it's a little bit of a missed market, and I think that they're reactively at it, either right before the Vision Pro or shortly after the Vision Pro when Candy Crush Saga is the #1 selling app on the Vision Pro.
They can stay in their lane, man.
And in other news, we'll take a little quick ad break, but like always, I like to give a shout out to our Patreon members, the people who help keep our lights on besides the sponsors who we'll hear in a moment. But, huge shout out to the following Patreon people: Asim, Jake, Earth Witness, Amelia, Crispy, and Shoes. Thank you all. You'll notice their names are said week after week. They don't stop supporting, so I appreciate all of the...
Earth Witness sent us a
freaking
Stream Deck.
Is it a Stream Deck or
Stream? It's not a Steam Deck, though.
Yeah. Steam Deck is a big difference.
Oh, yeah. Although this is still like, what the frick?
Oh, my goodness. The thing's a beast.
Channel Stream Deck. So we're going to try to
plug this in, try to play
get some
with
good
it.
use out of it.
Some multicam, some streaming.
Hopefully you're seeing some funky shit coming down the road.
Yep. We should get an image for when we live stream that says smash that like button.
Oh, dude, I want to do all the bells and whistles.
Yeah. We're going to have some fun.
Why not?
So our Patreon group, they, besides the on-air shout out, everybody in our Patreon on all the different tiers, it comes with access to an exclusive channel in our Discord server, which we engage with a lot. We give some sneak peeks of what's coming next with interviews, sometimes post some Google Forms there to submit some questions, ask for some feedback overall. And also, besides the exclusive channel, anybody can join our Discord. And it's full of great discussion, great moderators, like Amelia, King Canuck, Shoes. You'll notice 2 of those people are on the Patreon list as well. Definitely huge Rough Talk supporters. But our Discord is a great community. We've even had some people join the last couple of weeks be like, I don't really understand Discord, but here I am. And, we'll gladly help you navigate these deep waters for sure. So go join our Discord, engage there. A lot of good VR discussion, food pictures, animal pictures, life adventures, a lot of cool stuff. So go check out that. And also subscribe to our YouTube. If you're watching the video and not subscribed, shame on you. Jokes aside, would definitely appreciate the subscribe. Press the like button. Hell, even comment what your thought is about 2D apps on a headset. We have opposing opinions, so I'd like to hear some other people's thoughts on that too. Or you can post it in our Discord. But nonetheless, subscribe to our YouTube. You can find all these links, like our Patreon, our Discord, in our show notes, our episode description, which is what the episode's about. So you click show more, you see all the info. Click Discord, download the app. You don't know what's going on, you make an account, you join the server, we'll help you from there. And then also, like I said, don't forget to join the Patreon. So check you out in a moment. Take these message from our sponsors, and we'll be back with the rest of the VR news.
Hey there, everyone. Are you a developer or studio who's dreamed of taking your VR project to the next level, but felt lost in the vast landscape of the metaverse? Well, we've got news for you. Meet our newest sponsor, Impact Reality XR. These aren't just any professionals. They're a dedicated team of content creators, brand managers, IT experts, and so much more, specifically focused on the XR industry. Remember the immersive experience of Ghost of Tabor or the pulsating beats of Synth Riders? Yep, those incredible titles worked with Impact Reality XR. From our personal journey in the VR space there's something reassuring about seeing Impact Reality XR affiliated with a game. And why? Because it means we're stepping into a world where attention to detail and professional execution are a given. They are one of the only PR companies dedicated specifically to the XR industry. At Ruff Talk VR, their involvement is like a seal of quality for us. So, whether you're in need of marketing, consulting, influencer relations, or even a snazzy press box to make an impression, Impact Reality XR has got you covered. Dive into the metaverse with confidence and let Impact Reality XR truly impact your reality. Developers and studios ready to elevate your VR experience? Head over to impactrealityxr.com and fill out the contact form. Your vision deserves the spotlight, and Impact Reality XR knows just how to get it there. Today, we're here with a sponsor for your bouncing bundle of joy. No, we're not talking about a baby. We're talking about your baby makers. That's right. Today's show is brought to you by Manscaped. But just like babies, your delicate little guys have sensitive skin and deserve products that are not only skin safe, but made with safe ingredients. That's where Manscaped's Platinum Package comes in. From razors to shower care, this package goes above the gold standard for your body hair. So treat your beautiful boys to the world's finest toys at manscaped.com and use the code RoughTalkVR for 20% off plus free shipping. The Manscaped Platinum Package 4.0 is the one-stop shop for the man who deserves it all. They designed this package to allow you to fully align your entire hygiene routine with elite products. Inside this Platinum Package, you'll find their Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer, Weed Whacker ear and nose hair trimmer, Ultra Premium Body Wash, Ultra Premium 2-in-1 Shampoo plus Conditioner, Ultra Premium Deodorant, Crop Preserver Anti-Chafing Ball Deodorant, Crop Reviver Ball Spray Toner, Anti-Chafing Boxers, and the Shed Travel Bag to hold your goods while traveling. The Lawnmower 4.0 Body Trimmer and Weed Whacker Nose and Ear Hair Trimmer feature proprietary advanced skin-safe technology to protect your delicate parts and holes. Both are waterproof so you can shave with less mess. The Platinum Package 4.0 covers all bases from head to toe and hair to ball fro. Get 20% off and free shipping with the code RoughTalkVR at manscaped.com. That's 20% off plus free shipping at manscaped.com and use the code RoughTalkVR. Use the Platinum Package because the gold standard is no longer good enough. Hey, Ruff Talk VR listeners. Are you looking for a transformative escape within the realm of VR? Dive into the tranquil world of Mindway, the premier VR meditation and wellness app exclusively on MetaQuest. Just imagine floating through serene landscapes, immersing yourself in relaxation, pushing past the day's stresses, and nurturing your inner space. Mindway isn't just any VR experience. It's where science meets serenity, helping you discover a better, more grounded version of yourself. What's unique about Mindway? They've made meditation bite-sized and manageable for our busy lives. Whether you're seeking a quick mindfulness break, soothing ASMR moments, or a digital sleeping pill to drift into dreamland, Mindway has got you covered. And with features like peer support, a beautiful original soundtrack, and scientifically developed content, your journey towards mental strength and happiness is in reliable hands. Join the thousands who are already embracing this new chapter of mental well-being. So if you're ready for a revolutionary self-care journey right into your VR headset, then make your next stop Mindway VR. Click, breathe, transform. Download Mindway on MetaQuest today and find out why happiness truly is, as they say, a state of Mindway.
And we are back. And hey, have I ever told you that we're doing a showcase in February? On February 2nd?
I heard.
Have you heard that?
Yep.
If you're a developer and you're interested in partaking, don't forget, shoot in an application for that before it's too late. We'd love to feature you. So you can find that link in our show notes as well. But nonetheless, back to the news. So NFL Pro Era, a game that you laugh about all the time because you have a funny, bitter thing with them because of TikTok. You posted a clip of them.
Dude, I got banned for background crowd cheering.
Because of copyrighted crowd noise. Is it? I already know what your face you're making about.
Well, that and I think they...
Yeah, we'll get into it in a second.
Three card moneyed everybody.
But nonetheless, NFL Pro Era, an officially licensed NFL game, made in part by former NFL players who own the studio. The first one was a pretty big success. I mean, it had a good following. People loved it. Really let you play as a quarterback of any NFL team, take you through a career mode. You could play catch socially. There's no like PvP or anything, but you could play catch with your friends on a field. But overall, it was pretty well received. At the not the Connect, because the Connect conference is coming up September 27th, but at the MetaQuest Gaming Showcase this past, what was that, like March? They had showed off something coming soon for Pro Era, and a lot of people interpreted that as an upcoming update, but no, they meant for NFL Pro Era 2, and that being the PvP. So you can play against 1v1 against another player, which, again, when it was shown at the showcase, a lot of people thought it was going to be in NFL Pro Era as a free update, but it seems like they're going the Madden route of a once-a-year version.
Well, they can, but just,
you got to make it worthwhile.
All right. They actually didn't make a bad product.
No, it was a fun game. We liked it.
But there's been like shit for updates.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
no.
Literally.
None.
So that's not a good sign to me.
No.
It'd be like if Medal of Honor was like doing it again. It's like, I'm not giving you my money. I don't see any. So I don't know. It's weird. I'm obviously gonna
here because I just don't like surprises. Here's what I'd say you can expect with NFL Pro Era.
They'll release it and that's it.
Yep. They're going to drop it. And the next thing you're going to hear from them is 3.
Pro 3.
Or 4. Or 5. That's probably going to be
the business
model.
But if you know what you're getting into, then it's probably not that bad. But it better run really good because they're probably not going to come and fix it if it doesn't.
Well, hey, in fairness, I think there was an update bringing some bug fixes that were there at the start. I think
there was one. Yeah.
But there weren't really that many bugs anyway. I mean, I'll give them credit there. It was a smooth game.
There were a couple.
It wasn't bad.
Nothing game breaking.
No. But I don't expect new features or new content. Just not in that one.
They're one and done.
Yeah, it's going to be like the Madden style once a year. That's totally the vibe I got. As soon as I found out that the multiplayer, player against player, is coming in the second one only, I'm like, oh, that's how this is going. See you in 2025, 2026, 2027.
It's not a cheap game either. So, I mean,
I can't imagine that NFL license is the easiest to secure, the cheapest.
Dude, if my video got banned because of crowd cheering, it's, very well protected. And that was auto picked up too.
And you got to imagine with that type of licensing and branding, they can't just make an update adding new content. It probably has to get approved through multiple layers of bureaucracy. So it could be much more complicated than we're talking about of like, oh, there's no more, there's maybe that's the deal that the NFL wants. Maybe that's how they want it.
Yeah, they're not allowed to do a career mode. Yeah. Too many football players end up in jail, Have a rage moment.
Yeah. You have to stop the career mode at retirement. Do not show post-retirement.
Right. Yeah. Retirement? Dude can't walk.
It turns into a financial budgeting simulator from there. But, they did that wasn't a campaign, but they had a career mode where you go through a season. I mean, hitting the playoffs.
The first time you run out of that tunnel onto the field.
No, they did a great job. We gave it a good review.
And then, of course, everybody in their city is going to go to their city's stadium.
I played as the Patriots.
Yeah, I did.
Why would I not play at Gillette Stadium?
I'm a Cowboys fan by birth, but...
Well, you whoop their ass as the Patriots. That's the thing. Eventually, you'll see them in the season, whether it's at your stadium or theirs.
Because we go to Foxborough, see concerts and shit, I had to.
And a lot of people said, we only have, what we know of Gillette, and it was pretty true to life there. And that was the consensus for most people with their stadium. So there's a lot of work designing each stadium. And it's important to say, despite our criticisms of the way their I guess, business model is going to go, which is pretty standard for sport games, too, if we want to be fair with them, too. The game was good. Like, we gave it a good review. We had fun. I imagine the second one's going to be even better. So overall, is it my favorite way of doing it? No, but I also understand it with the NFL license. I don't think they're going to
bring anything new to the table.
Besides player...
I think it's going to be the same...
I could
graphics,
see that.
Same everything.
We're even seeing that with the new UFC game with EA. I mean, this is unfortunately pretty standard with licensed sports games,
Yep. Ugh. All the money goes to the
license.
The license.
The stadium, the music, the noise, the crowd noises, everything. But I have faith, if I enjoyed the first one, I'll probably enjoy the second one, right? I don't know how much I'll do player versus player.
We'll see. Well, I know we'll play each other. We'll see.
Well, what we talked about a lot in the review is we wanted to see an expansion of positions, and there's no way to do like 2v2 in the current system where you're only a quarterback. So in order to get where I would really play it a lot, which is us being able to play together against another team, we need to see the expansion of positions, which I don't think we're seeing in this either.
No.
There's nothing that says it has to be a quarterback sim, but to date, that's what it is. So let's see. I'm curious. So NFL Pro Era 2 officially announced it gets a release date this month, coming with, again, PvP. So check it out sooner rather than later, but a little skeptical hippo eyes. Let's see. But other news, a headset that, we're obviously not going to enjoy as we're not PC VR users, but we've been watching with careful eyes. I'm just so intrigued about it. I mean, overall, I've heard nothing but positive things, and my level of intrigue is due to positive reasons. Like, this headset looks badass, and it's big screen beyond. It's finally officially started to ship out, so people are getting their hands on the official model, and I don't think we're going to hear really bad things. I mean, this headset looks pretty sweet.
I haven't heard anything bad yet.
No,
so I expect it to just keep getting better and better for them.
But they're also not shooting for, in my opinion, the mass consumer.
No, they're just getting it out there.
Yeah.
They're proving the technology works, getting it out there to some peeps.
Custom fitted for your face.
Yeah.
Badass. Of course, you need a PC VR level computer. It's not a standalone headset. And then you do need to buy like a separate tracker. And then there's controllers needed. There's some financial hurdles for, that'll keep it away from hitting 20 million headsets sold like the Quest. But just as a raw piece of technology, the thing is lighter than an iPhone. Very high resolution. Everybody that says it's bad, that uses it says it's badass. You have to give big screen a lot of props on this headset.
Absolutely.
I'm excited to see future models, what happens with the software of it as it updates, the overall reception of people as it continues to get in more people's hands through the next month or two. So far, all positive. I'm excited for some in-depth deep dives, but yeah, just want to give a huge shout out to Big Screen Beyond for transitioning from just software to also hardware. They've officially done the whole, announcement, marketing, changes, production, sending out. They've done it. That's no easy task, and they've got the first one in the book. So huge props to Big Screen Beyond. Not for us, but I'm very curious how it all plays out. And then another quick one, I just want to give another shout out. A game that, we mentioned the other week when it was coming out, Twist X. It's kind of like a handheld, pass-through Tetris-esque game. It's very interesting, and it's officially out now. So go check out the trailer for that. If you remember us talking about it the other week, you've been curious about it, go check out Twist X. It's a solo dev. It's
very challenging.
Yeah,
I'll say that.
Small little team. So I always love to give the support there. If you like those type of puzzle games, you like Tetris, it's got its own unique spin. So definitely go check out Twist X if that's your cup of tea. But huge props to that developer for getting out their first game as well.
You won't know if it's your cup of tea till you play it.
That's true.
There's nothing
it's unique.
like it. So
it's definitely unique.
The only thing that's similar is kind of like Tetris like tiles, but gameplay is definitely unique.
Absolutely. And then in other news, another game that I know you are so hyped with, probably number 2 only to Power Wash Sim, but also coincidentally made by End Dreams, but we're talking about Ghostbusters. We got a new trailer, and most importantly, we got a release date and pricing with the ability to pre-order now. The game is going to come out October 26th, so right around the corner, coincidentally.
Right before Halloween.
Yeah, I definitely think the Quest 3 will be out by then. And it, you can pre-order it now. It's either going to be $49.99 for the kind of more premium edition or $35 for the regular edition. And you can pre-order it now for the 10% off. And the premium edition, I think they call it the full containment edition to kind of go with Ghostbusters vibes. Comes with guaranteed free DLC, but they are going to add more free game modes for everyone. It sounds like that there's a lot of plans for additional content coming down the line,
which is good because I'm hoping this isn't going to be a drop and run.
Well, the trailer showed a lot of upgrades and almost looked like some roguelite elements, if you ask me. like reason to go in and run some things over for upgrades and currency. I don't know, just speculating, but curious.
We're about to find out in a month.
Yeah, it's right around the corner. I'm so excited for this one. Potential to really have some fun, up to 4-player co-op.
October is going to be a busy. People are going to be wondering why so many vacations in October.
Right. I saw Skiva posting about it on Twitter, and I was like, 4-person, 4 people. I'm just saying, rough talk between realities. Collab for some Ghostbusters action.
Co-op Ghostbusters.
It's kind of meant to be 4 people. I'm just saying. So
I'm down.
Might have to stick around for a video of that or a stream or something, but that'll be a lot of fun. But I'm so excited for this release. We've been talking about it since it was first announced. It was supposed to come out last year. It was delayed, and it's just been silence.
That means they've just been working on it.
Which I'd rather that. I'd rather that than a rushed product or anything like that. But
correct.
Now it's right around the corner with a price, pre-orders, so you can pay for it. I mean, at that point, it's coming.
And you can use the code word Rough Talk VR and save nothing.
Nope, not yet. Maybe one day.
Feel free to type it in.
And then say, invalid code.
We should try it.
Yeah,
it
was worth a shot. Maybe one day, right? Yeah. Somebody goes to type it in and goes, did you know that there's actually a
40% off coupon?
Why has nobody ever told me about this? But nonetheless, so yeah, either regular edition for $35 or premium edition, full containment edition for $50, which comes with more content. I think some extra avatar outfits or something like that. And
we'll know soon.
But again, all the DLC that's going to eventually come out, which you guarantees there's going to be post-game content as well. They said free game modes added as well. So let's see. I'm curious. I'm excited. Right around the corner. Let's see End Dreams, Ghostbusters, and Power Wash Sim. You can find me at
Power Wash Sim. What do I got to do?
You can find me at roughtalkvr at gmail.com. You can send me keys right there.
Tell me to go pick it up. I'll even drive.
I'll have a good day. You know, I mean, geez, what's a man got to do? Who do I got to zuck for a little Power Wash Sim? So stupid. But nonetheless, I'm so pumped for that. End Dreams is going to be on fire potentially at the end of this year with Power Wash Sim and Ghostbusters both coming out. Damn, the studio's on fire. So huge props to them. I'm wicked excited for that. And then we also got more info about Asgard's Wrath 2. They've been doing these like developer deep dives where they have the game producer, Mari Kyle. She kind of goes in depth about different aspects, whether it's lore or gameplay, whatever. And they went a little bit more in depth about the roguelite elements of Asgard's Wrath 2 that'll come up as an optional side, thing to partake in. It's not the main part of the game. The game's not a roguelite game. It's just a side roguelite activity that you can hop into at any point in the main story. It'll unlock stuff for your main story character to kind of give some incentive of it. It was really cool. And then you can also, at the end, leave a shadow of yourself for other players to encounter asynchronously in multiplayer. So it's not true multiplayer. It's that asynchronous
ghosting.
But I mean, for a single player game, I guess it's not really expected. It's a bonus at that point.
They're just putting more on the table. That's all.
Correct. It's going to be a $60 game.
So there seems to be the theme this year. So
Ghostbusters can be $50.
2024's price tag will be the 60s, the new $39.
Well, Ghostbusters is $50, and Asgard's Wrath is $60. I mean, Ghostbusters 50 is for the premium edition as well. Asgard's Wrath is just going to be $60, but it's got 60 hours of a campaign too, plus the side activities of the roguelite.
I finished it in an hour and a half. You already know it's coming, guaranteed.
So at least Asgard's
15
Wrath
minutes, dude.
If what they're saying is true, at least Asgard's Wrath by flat screen standards can even justify that price tag.
I remember when they said
$1 an hour.
You're paying $1 an hour.
Yeah, fucking why not? That's not bad, right?
Cheaper than any movie you're going to watch.
Absolutely. Plus the side activities, and if we can competitively do it in multiplayer of trying to outdo each other, come on, let's go. So I'm wicked excited for Asgard's Wrath 2 coming out in December. Well, they say winter 2023, whatever that means. I mean, winter starts December 21st.
Before Christmas, so that they can get the Christmas sales.
That means it comes out December 22nd. Because
comes out the day after Thanksgiving.
That's not even, that's not winter yet.
Nope.
It's funny. I mean, if I'm going to be technical, I don't think that they're going to go by the technical definition of the start of winter, but just saying, but nonetheless, I'm actually really excited for Asgard's Wrath too. My only fear with it is I'm actually weird with VR gaming that like I'm probably never going to finish a 60-hour campaign with my headset on. I mean, realistically, if it's single player, how long have we spent in Survival Nation, you know?
Well, it's going to come down to how well the game is.
How fun it is?
If I put
That's
it
true.
on and I do, 5-10 hours and I'm like, I want to finish, then that's what's going to happen.
That's true. I know you. Once you
Otherwise,
start
yeah,
and you like it.
It's like, if it's okay and it's,
Exactly,
decent,
yeah.
then I'll be fine. But if it's like, nah, dude, I need to play.
Yeah, like, dude, this is the best VR single player experience I've ever played.
Then
If it's that type of shit, yeah.
It's going to screw with me for a little while.
Yeah, that might. You'd be like, it's like, where's the next review?
And
I
then
swear.
it's like you do a certain amount of hours and you've put that many hours in.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I'm so invested already. Like you got 30 hours in, you're like, I'm halfway through. It's like, why wouldn't I? How could you stop?
Yeah, I get that.
But we'll see if the gameplay is not compelling enough to make you want to play the 60 hours.
With my luck, I would get like a third of the way in or halfway in and be like, all right, I can stop. And then they roll out an update like, now you can do the campaign with your friend. And I'd be like, fuck, well, here we go. You want to start it from the beginning? I mean,
Oh, we'd have to.
yeah, that's the way that they would get me. Which, with a studio like that, you never know. But nonetheless, so Asgard's Wrath, so excited for it. Ghostbusters, I'm so excited for it. And we got 2 more pieces of news, kind of games being announced. Also ones that I'm very excited for. Go figure. The first one's being the third in the Warplanes series was announced. Warplanes 1, but I'd actually argue Warplanes 1 might be more popular than Warplanes 2. I don't know if that's true or just my perception, but both were pretty well received, Warplanes 1 and 2. But they take place in past times, whereas the newest one, Warplanes Aircraft, is going to take place in modern time.
Yeah, this one really excites me.
Yeah. Because you liked Warplanes. You liked Ultra Wings. You
I
liked
like anything I can fly, but the problem is you grow tired of World War I and World War II planes. It's like, I kind of want some modern. You got a taste of it with Ultra Wings because they threw in a nice jet. But if I can fly an F-22 or F-16, I'm going to be all an A-10, whatever. I'm going to be all about it.
I got to look out when Warplanes 2 came out because I had a perception that it wasn't too long ago. When I told you about this, you went, already? It feels like...
I think it's just been a couple of years.
Yeah, it's probably been longer than it actually has been. The second one kind of silently dropped when it came out,
I
too.
don't think it's been that long, dude. I'll look it up while you're talking.
It's cool to see that Warplanes, I guess 3 is already in the works, and I love the concept of taking place in modern time. I know you want me to stall the mic till you're done looking at the release date.
No, I can
I'll
still...
move. Yeah, I'll move to the next talking point. That's about all I got on Warplanes, but I agree with you. I'm pretty happy with anything that involves flying, especially in VR. Very rarely do games still give me that woo feeling, and if there's anything that will, it's flying because it's more than just the VR hitting you. That's how it feels to fly, and doing it in VR feels that real. But one of the best game publishers.
August 11th, 2022.
So 1 year ago.
Yep.
Wow.
Just over a year ago.
Day before my birthday. Look at that.
August 22nd?
Oh, I thought you said August 11th.
Oh, did I? I know. I can't even freaking remember.
Oh, and did it reset?
Yeah.
Oh, no. Don't even work it. Don't even.
Isn't that crazy?
Don't even worry about it.
Well, now I just don't even know what I said.
Now I don't even know what you said. But
oh, man. I think it was August 11th.
I feel like that's what you said. I mean, maybe I made that up. I'm crazy, man.
August 11th.
August 11th. Yeah, so day before my birthday. That's funny. You ever get something like you close out of it and now you second guess it? It's the worst. But one of our favorite developers and publishers, Fast Travel Games. They both publish games like We Are One, Go Signal. Those weren't made by them. They acted as the publisher in it. But they have their in-house games as well. And they announced their next in-house game, both to be made and published by them, called Mannequin, which is going to be a multiplayer game. And it looks pretty freaking interesting, to say the least.
The first one came out in 21, July.
Dude, they're doing one a year?
Yeah.
Wow.
Dude.
Warplanes 1 came out in 21?
Warplanes World War I Fighters?
And then the second one came
July
out
of 21.
Wow, that studio hustles.
That's a little scary. So they're reusing their engine for sure and just modernizing the planes.
That might be hard to do for the modern one though. World War One and World War Two, that might not be as big of a jump as it is from World War Two to modern.
It's going to be even easier.
Think so?
Yeah, if they're going to modernize it, there's no trees. It's just going to be fucking sand. There you go, modern. Put all the resources into the jet. I mean, let's be honest. They're not doing like guerrilla warfare in modern, like today. Any battles taking place in the past 10 years have been more desert than
That's true.
than like jungle warfare.
I don't know if that'll make it easier to.
I would think rendering that would make it wicked easy.
Let's see.
It's all gray. Or
Let's
it's all tan.
But we'll see when it comes out based off of the rate of.
I'm fucking
Might be
excited,
sooner
though.
rather than later, actually, based off of those two release dates. But, on to Fast Travel, their newest game, Mannequin, the multiplayer one that they were teasing, that one looks real freaking interesting.
I'm intrigued.
You even tagged me in something on LinkedIn
Yeah.
when it came out. You're like, dude, have you seen this yet?
Yeah, I'm like, this looks pretty freaking cool.
Yeah, and it's Fast Travel. They don't disappoint.
Certain studios, End Dreams, Fast Travel, we know, the usual regular heavy hitters. If they've got their name on it, you already know it's going to be good.
Yeah, they work great when they're the publisher.
No jank.
And they work great when they're the
Developer.
Yeah, so I'm super intrigued for Mannequin. So that's all I got for today. That about wraps it up, folks.
Good amount of news.
Yeah, this was a fun week. We have a special treat coming on Wednesday.
Yeah, we do.
We are interviewing. We have one of the most. I'm so pumped for this. I can't even contain my excitement. I'm gonna sound like a blabbering idiot real quick, but we're gonna be talking with the Handler, Jared Mason, the voice of the Handler from
you've
I
heard his
Expect
work
You to Die.
in 3 series.
Yes, he both voices the Handler in the series I Expect You to Die, made by Shell Games, but he's also the narrative designer of the game.
Yeah.
So he's very hands-on in the creation of the game from day one. So, I mean,
His perspective on the series is definitely a unique one.
And a phenomenal voice actor. So I'm so excited for Wednesday. So this is going to be a fun week. We have more great interviews in the works. We're finally doing a review of Survival Nation coming up soon. So great stuff in the works. Of course, I teased it earlier. Our gaming showcase, February 2nd. If you're a developer studio, go fill out that form. Go partake in it. It's going to be a blast. And stay tuned for Wednesday, where we talk to the Handler. I'm so excited. So subscribe, rate us 5 stars. Subscribe on YouTube, subscribe on Spotify, on Apple. I'd love to see our Apple podcasts shoot up a little bit. Boo, 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 boo. Stay on 5 stars, though. That's always cool. Nothing worse than when somebody drops the 4-star, and it's like, I love it. They're my best. It's my favorite restaurant ever to eat. The service is so great. 4 stars. And then it brings the restaurants for overall down to like 4.2. It's like, it hurts. So yeah, definitely drop us a 5-star on Apple, Spotify. And other than that, we'll check you out on Wednesday.
Take care.
Ciao, ciao.